Hi, and thank you for coming back to the web and checking out Mr. Haas's math homework help videos. Today we're looking at mental math. Mental math is just a way of kind of trying to evaluate what you've got and make it easier. Okay? Let me show you what I mean by that. This is 1.5 B-side mental math. They want us to evaluate. Evaluate is another word for solve. Okay, so problem number 1, we have 17 plus 4 times 5. Well, PEMDAS tells us to do the 4 times 5 first. Okay, well that would leave us 17 plus 20. We add those two together and we end up with 37. That's it. Okay, well now let's take a look at the second problem. The second problem, they give us 25 times 3 times 4. And you may say to yourself, okay, well, so I got to attack this. I got to go 25 times 3 and get that answer, and then times 4. Well, here's a trick. And this is where the mental math part comes in. If I were to say to you, what if I changed this around to 25 times 4 times 3? Wouldn't that make this a lot easier to do? Because we all kind of know that 25 times 4 equals 100. And then our times 3 would give us 300. Well, can I do that? Well, yes, you can. There is a rule called the commutative property of multiplication that allows us to do this. And here, just as an example, let's look at this. 2 times 3 times 4. And let's prove it. 2 times 3 is 6. Times 4 equals 24. Okay, let's try it as 4 times 3 times 2. Well, here's 12 times 2. Well, that equals 24. Let's put the 3 out in front. 3 times 4 times 2. Well, 3 times 4 is 12 times 2 is equal to 24. You see, when you're working with all the same signs, it really doesn't matter what order you do them in. 2 times 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. 4 times 3 times 2 is going to give us 12. No matter what order you put these numbers in, they're always going to come out to the same amount, the same answer. So if you are dealing with the same sign, the same operation, you're going to end up with the same answer. Okay, let's take a look at the distributive property, the second part here where we talk about use the distributive property to find each product. Product is the word that we use in math for multiplication. So let me get us a clean piece of paper. Okay, so the distributive property works like this. Let's look at problem number 10. Problem number 10 starts off with 4 times 16. Well, wow, that's kind of rough, you know. But this is mental math, and really, it's basically playing with the numbers. I think that if we looked back at what we just did here, and we came up with the number underneath, we could kind of do it in reverse. Watch. We end up with 4 times what two numbers equal, and we're going to do addition here. What two numbers can I add together to equal 16? Well, you could do a couple of them. You could do 2 and 8. I'm sorry, 10 and 6 comes to mind real quick. So I'm going to go 10 plus 6. You could have 12 and 4. You could have 8 and 8. But let's do 10 and 6, and here's why. Just now we're going to do what's called distributing the 4 to each of those. Right here we wanted to multiply 4 times 16. Well, if we break this apart, we're going to do it 4 times 10, but we're also going to multiply 4 times the 6. Let's try this. 4 times 10, easy, right? 4 times 10 is 40. Plus 4 times 6, well, that's a little easier. That's 24. That equals 64, right? Well, just so happens that if you multiply, take your calculator out and check it, 4 times 16, why, goodness gracious, that equals 64. So let me do another one and show you how this works. Let's look at number 11. Okay. Number 11 has 8 times 31. Wow, well, I'm not really good at my 31s. So let's break it down again. Let's take 8 times 30 plus 8 times 1. So I have distributed that 8 to both 30 and 1. So let's see, 8 times 30. Well, 8 times 3 is 24, right? We just add the 0 on the end. 8 times 1, well, that's 8. We add these together and it's 248. Take your calculator, check. 8 times 31 is indeed 248. Could you use other numbers? Yeah, you probably could, but this is probably the easiest. What you're going to try and do here is you're going to try and take this number, the big one, and break it down into a nice multiple of 10, and then whatever's left in your ones, you're going to have that as the second part. Let's do one more, just so you get a little bit more practice, a little more understanding. Let's go after this one. 3 times 62, problem number 12. 3 times 62. All right, so we're going to distribute this. We're going to break up this second number. 3 times 60 plus 3 times 2. So basically what we've done is we've multiplied by the 60 and times the 2. 3 times 60, well, 3 times 6 is 18. Just put that 0 on the end. Plus 3 times 2, well, that's 6. Add these two together, 186. Check your calculator. Yep, it is 186. Okay, that's how you do those. Best of luck. Hope you had fun.